The flames are real enough, but this is part of a drama performed in front of villagers with some important messages. The play addresses key issues facing Zimbabwe: the need for political rivals to reconcile, to end the cycle of violence and reprisals, for healing to begin and for communities to try to unify so that some long-term development work can begin to take root. The actors have been recruited by a community-based non-governmental group, the Lower Garue Development Association, LGDA, with support from the international aid organisation Oxfam.
What we must do is now to be unity. We want unity in our community.
The groups have been working in Mabere district for more than a decade. It's a flood-prone, food-insecure region, and it's a traditional stronghold of Zanu-PF. Villagers in Chirivo described the violence which flared up during elections last year as a time of war, which pitted neighbour against neighbour. Mabadoro Nyamangara, a father of 3 children, shows scars on his shoulder left by gangs who attacked his house one night. He says he was beaten up by Zanu-PF supporters who accused him of supporting the opposition MDC, which he said he was not. His shoulder was badly injured and he left his home and family for the capital Harare until things quietened down. The Reconciliation Project draws on the help of local pastor David Mutfumbira, a board member of the LGDA. He preaches non-denominational sermons about forgiveness, counsels individual villagers, and has enlisted the help of a local drama group.
When I came here, the things were very terrible. People were... It was during elections, so people were not good in relationship. Their houses were being burned, people were being beaten. When I came here, there are some great changes because people are reconciliating together, so they are just forgiving.
Farmer Matope, an MDC supporter, had part of his home destroyed in the violence. During that time, we were beating each other, torching each other's houses, he said. But when LGDA supported the pastor to come and preach forgiveness, as you heard today, that's when we decided to forgive each other. In front of the village, the local leaders of the 2 main political groups act out their own quarrel, also in the form of a drama. They then shake hands and hug. It's a public sign that despite political violence conducted by the 2 rival parties last year, when Zimbabwe was about to hold runoff presidential elections, reconciliation between former foes is possible. Mike Chirivo, village head and a Zanu-PF supporter, had his belongings destroyed in the violence. He says he's made up with his rival, Farmer Matope, thanks to the pastor. The 2 can now eat at each other's houses, he said. There's no longer hatred between us, because God has told us to reconcile. Psychological and physical rebuilding has already taken place in another neighbouring village, where 17 houses were destroyed in political violence. With the help of the pastor, they've set aside their differences and rebuilt their homes together. In Chirivo village, the process of forgiveness has only just begun. Francisca Marume says it's not been easy, but she says when hunger and cholera came, they didn't just affect people who supported the ruling party or those who backed the opposition. They came for all. We realise, she said, that we need to forgive each other. If our leaders have done so at national level, we should also do so in the village. Zimbabwe's main opposition leader, Morgan Tsvangirai of the MDC, is now Prime Minister in a power-sharing government of national unity with his former political rival, President Robert Mugabe, who's held power for nearly 3 decades. The challenges facing them are enormous as Zimbabwe grapples with food shortages, a cholera epidemic and an economic meltdown. But unless the new government can create an enabling environment where the rights and safety of its citizens are protected, and rebuilding and healing can begin, it's unlikely that large-scale international humanitarian and development assistance will resume.